Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is Maj Mahalla Tija. Govind Ujjal Ujjal Hansa, Man Bani Nirmal Meri Mansa, Man Ujjal Sada Sukh So Hai, Man Ujjal Sada Mukh So Hai, Ati Ujjal Naam ਧਿਆਵਣਿਆ ਹਉ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਿਉ ਵਾਰੀ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਣਿਆ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਕਹੇ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤੀ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਾਵਣਿਆ ਰਹਾਉ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗਾਵੇ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਵੇ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗਾਵੇ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਗੁਰ ਕੈ ਭੈ ਉਜਲ ਹਉ ਮੈਂ ਮਲ ਜਾਏ ਸਦਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਰਹੇ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹਿ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤੀ ਸੁਣ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਣਿਆ ਮਨੁਆ ਨਾਚੈ ਭਗਤ ਦ੍ਰਿੜਾਏ ਗੁਰ ਕੈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਮਨੇ ਮਨ ਮਿਲਾਏ ਸੱਚਾ ਤਾਲ ਪੂਰੇ ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਚੁਕਾਏ ਸ਼ਬਦੇ ਨਿਰਤ ਕਰਾਵਣਿਆ ਊਚਾ ਕੂਕੈ ਤਨਹਿ ਪਛਾੜੈ ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਜੋਹਿਆ ਜਮਕਾਲੇ ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਇਸ ਮਨੈ ਨਚਾਏ ਅੰਤਰ ਕਪਟ ਦੁਖ ਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭਗਤ ਜੈ ਆਪ ਕਰਾਏ ਤਨ ਮਨ ਰਾਤਾ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਬਾਣੀ ਵੱਜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਜਾਏ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭਗਤ ਥਾਏ ਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਬਹੁਤਾਲ ਪੂਰੇ ਵਾਜੇ ਵਜਾਏ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਸੁਣੈ ਨਾ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਏ ਮਾਇਆ ਕਾਰਨ ਪਿੜ ਬੰਦ ਨਾਚੈ ਦੂਜੇ ਭਾਏ ਦੁਖ ਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਜਿਸ ਅੰਤਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲਗੇ ਸੋ ਮੁਕਤਾ ਇੰਦਰੀ ਵਸ ਸਚ ਸੰਜਮ ਜੁਗਤਾ ਗੁਰ ਕੈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਦਾ ਹਰ ਧਿਆਏ ਇਹਾ ਭਗਤ ਹਰ ਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭਗਤ ਜੁਗ ਚਾਰੇ ਹੋਈ ਹੋਰਤ ਭਗਤ ਨ ਪਾਏ ਕੋਈ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਗੁਰ ਭਗਤੀ ਪਾਈਐ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਣੀ ਚਿਤ ਲਾਵਣਿਆ. Composed by the third Nanak, Guru Amar Das, this passage really draws out the question of the right method. And as we shall see, the Guru emphasizes what true bhakti or devotion is. So he starts off by saying, Govind Ujjal Hansa, Manabani Nirmal Meri Mansa. When the mind listens to the discourse of the enlightener, Manabani Nirmal Meri Mansa. Manabani, when the mind listens, Nirmal Meri Mansa, what happens is my motivation, the motivation of the mind becomes pure. Nirmal. What does that mean? It means that when the mind listens to the discourse of the enlightener, its motivation becomes devoid of self-conceit or selfish interest. So the motivated mind then mane ujjal sada sukh sada mukh so hai ati ujjal naam ਧਿਆਵਣਿਆ. So with pure motivation, the mind is enlightened by self-knowledge. Man ujjal sada mukh ujjal sohe. Sohe looks beautiful, is enlightened. At ujjal naam ਧਿਆਵਣਿਆ, through paying attention to the teachings of the enlightener. And that transforms it into Ujjal Hansa, into the discriminating self. Here the self has been equated to the Hansa, swan-like, which has the quality of discrimination between what is false and what is true. It has this capacity, as I say, to separate milk out of water. So therefore, when the mind is engaged with Gurbani, it pays attention. It's motivated to pay attention to the enlightener's teachings. And when that happens, it is transformed because it then develops what we call vivek buddhi, discrimination which is a quality of the Hansa, the swan, which here is a metaphor for the self. So therefore the central message here is, I am indebted to those who reflect and absorb the attributes of the protector self in their life. How vari jio vari, Govind gun gavanaya. Govind, the protector self, the protector master. Go is the earth, Bind is the one who protects it, so the protector of the earth. Indebtedness to those who reflect and absorb those qualities, guna gavanaya. We'll talk a little bit about what the real meaning of gavanaya, or what the possible meanings of gavanaya can be. But here, absorbing the attributes of the protector self. Govind Govind kahe din rati, Govind sun sabad sunavanaya. Listening to the sabad, to the discourse of the Guru. Govind Govind kahe, singing and glorification, day in and day out. Then colors the mind with those attributes. You begin to internalize them. And to those people who do this, the Guru offers his indebtedness and his desire to follow them. How vari jio vari. Govinda gave sehaj subhai. Once the mind resonates with the teachings of the enlightener Gur, then the process is effortless and spontaneous. Intuition, it's intuitive. There's no cognition involved. Gur ke paye ujjal haume. The awe and the reverence of the teachings of the Guru, or the awe and the reverence that the teachings instill in the mind, cleanse it of self-centeredness. And such a devotee enjoys constant bliss. Sada ananda rahe, bhagat kare din rati, devoted day and night by listening Sun Govind Gun Gavanaya. Gun Gavanaya expressing those qualities that have been assimilated within the self. And now here in the subsequent passages, the Guru turns to physical movements. It seems as though he's contrasting the method of Gurmat versus the prevalent methods that the Gurus observed, because they are speaking about physical movement here, expressed as dance. Manua nacha pagat dridaye, gur ke sabad mane man milaye, sacha tal pure maya moh chukaye, sabde nirt karamaniya. This is, of course, the quality of the pagat, where the mind, through assimilation of virtues, is firmly dedicated, dridai, to the discourse of the Shabad, and then internalizes the teachings, mane man milai, and with the guidance of the enlightener, become ego-free, maya moh chukaye, and then they are in a rhythm with the perfected one, sacha tal pure. Now here, this is a statement of Gurmat. This is really the process of Gurmat. And now let's see what the Guru has to say about what they observed in other methods, using the metaphor of dancing. And we will see what that might indicate as well. So what do they see? The Guru says, Ucha kuke taneh pachade. Actually hinting at the fact that the self-centered mind, the manmukh, is really dancing for display, showing off. Their life is a display. Ucha kuke taneh pachade. They are loud, boasting, boastful. Here, of course, he's saying Ucha kuke taneh pachade, meaning the shaking of the body. They are bewitched and possessed by love of mammon. Maya moh joya jamakalle. And they are caught in the trammels of time. Maya moh is mane nachaye. antar kapat dukh pavanya. In contrast to the sacha tal pure maya moh chukaye, here maya moh is mane nachaye. So where the Bhagat is free of Maya Moh, the Manmukh is actually dancing to the tune of Maya Moh. But that comes with deceit and pretension. Those are the byproducts of a Manmukh life. And because of deceit and pretension, they come to grief. Antar kapata dukha pavanya. गुरमुख भगत जा आप कराए तन मन राता सहज सुभाए बाणी वजय शब्द बजाए गुरमुख भगत थाए पावणया. Again, a contrast. He switches to the Gurmukh, the one who is Gur guided, the one who is devoted to the Guru. They intuitively and effortlessly act and think. They are not deceiving, they are not deceptive, they are not driven in the way that Maya drives the Manmukh, because they think and act in the light of Guru wisdom. Tan manaratta sahaj subai. When you are driven and guided by Guru wisdom, you are acting spontaneously with natural ease. There is no anxiety, there is no restlessness. This is the kind of devotion that bears real fruit. Bani vajay sabad vajay, when the words of the enlightener resonate within, Bhagat thai pavana. That devotion bears fruit. Now he switches back to the Manmukh. Bahtal pure vajay vajaye, na ko sune na man vasaye. The Manmukh, the self-centered, plays many a tune, as we know. You're running and chasing. This could also mean listening to many ideas. Bahtal pure vajay vajaye, listens to many tunes, listens to a lot of different things, but na ko sune na man vasaye, pays no attention nor assimilates anything. Why? Because maya karan pir bandh, nache duje paye. Because they're motivated by the senses. Maya karan pir bandh nachaye. Here he talks about building elaborate structures, arenas. You could think of them as belief systems to perform. But we see that, right? We see people with belief structures. And then now the Guru is concluding in the last two verses that jis antar preet lage so mukta, inner love for the self is the right method. So mukta, that brings release and freedom from the ego. Indri vas sach sanjam jugta. Inner love for the self is the right method to control the senses. Indri vas, and discipline, sanjam, around the self. That is what leads to so mukta. That leads to release. So therefore the advice is Gur ke sabad harte sada harte aaye. Stay firm in Guru wisdom. Eha bhagat har pavana. This is true devotion and feeling. And then the Guru emphasizes that Gurmat is eternal. Gurmukh bhagat jug chare hoye. Hoi. Gurmukh bhagat jug chare hoi. It's been happening. Devotion to the primordial enlightener has prevailed through the 4 ages. Now here he's switching to the importance of devotion to the teachings, because that is your starting point. Horat bhagat na paye koi. There is no other way to self-realization except submission to the teachings of the primordial enlightener. Remember, in the Mool Mantar, where Guruji expresses the attributes of the Supreme Self. One of them is Gur. It is indeed the enlightener itself. So one has to be devoted to that self. And we are being told there is no other way to self-realization. Orat Bhagat na paaye koi. So therefore, apply the mind to the teachings of the enlightener with devotion. With the devotion to find self-knowledge. Nanak naam gur bhakti paya, gur charani chitta lavanya. Attach yourself to the teachings of the enlightener. For us, it means start with Gurbani, because that is an expression of the enlightener. So let's talk a little bit about Gun Gavanya and Nacha. Gava literally means singing, but we should always be cautious that there is no single value for words within Gurbani, because there are different contexts. So Guru Amar Das, like Guru Nanak in the third pauri of Japji, is not speaking merely about the act of singing. Rather, the act of singing is indeed part of our practice, because we do kirtan, but that's not the only thing he's talking about. He's pointing to the essence, which is a melodic harmony that emanates from our lifestyle based on kirtan, based on vichar. That together creates a melodic harmony within ourselves. And that is the clue. We must harmonize ourselves or be in rhythm with Hukam, the first pauri of Japji. And that involves kirtan, cultivating virtue and devotion. Now a word on physical movement. As we said, we can see it as a reference to the context in which people exhibit their devotion to a deity by dancing to the rhythm of music, a very common sight. But again, the true dance can also mean the rhythm or the tone and tenor of one's life. How are you expressing your life? That is really the key. And no one can tell you what the quality of your own experience is other than you yourself. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.